Yeah, it looks like we're live, guys. Looks like we're ready to go. Looks like we're just ready to go. Peace and blessings. It is your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who they are, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets. Speak if you nasty. Now.
Hey, it's nasty. It's nasty out there.
It's nasty. And I'm here with my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka El Chefe.
He's got something to say about this.
Something to say. And shout out to you. Yes, you, the revivalists in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. And if you on X, please hit that like button, that retweet or repost button now they say nowadays, right? And hit that notification bell so this way you know when we're live or just putting out stuff for you guys as well on that particular page of New York Revival. So do appreciate all the support. We are all streaming platforms as well, Spotify and iTunes as well, guys. So I think that's pretty much it, man. Let's jump right into it, man. Joe Schoen, Brian Daboll are back. They're in the building. Holy cow. Holy cow. Jump right into it, man. I think they got El Jefe a little bit. But I'm going to start with the big dog, man, Mr. Glass Half Full. Let's start with you, man. What's going on? Let's get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the streets are pissed. Let's just say that. Everybody wanted blood. They wanted a body. And it turns out the body that they got was Daniel Jones. Yeah. It wasn't the body they wanted. We wanted Shane, Daboll. One of those two had to go in most people's minds. And they got nobody. You might get a Shane Bowen, maybe, if you're lucky. But at this point, it looks like status quo. And you know what? I'm not going to turn back right now and go on what I've been saying for the longest time. I've been saying from Jump Street, if Shane is coming back, I want Daboll coming back with him. And I'm not going to now turn around and say, one or the other, it should have both been gone. Like, I wanted both gone. If Shane was leaving, I wanted a clean house, get Daboll out of there too. But Daboll is way more deserving of coming back than Shane was. I always believe that. And if Shane was coming back, he did a lesser job than Daboll did. Daboll won Coach of the Year. I think he deserved another shot. And for as bad as it sounds, I just want 1 year of a Daniel Jones-less year that I can see what these guys could do. I just wanted one shot at it. Just give them one shot. And I know it's crazy. And now I'm hearing that, they did it's a playoff or a bust potentially. That is going to be brutal. If that's the case, it's going to be brutal. I don't want that either. And there's a lot of ways these things can go. I'm gonna sit back and wait. I'm a wait and see approach at this point. I want to see what they do in the draft. I want to see what they do in free agency. If all my worst fears are confirmed, and that they're overspending in free agency because they need to win, if they trade up to get a quarterback because they need to win or they need a quarterback, then I'm going to be like, this is an unmitigated disaster. And I hope that's not what happens. But I truly do believe Joe Schoen is not that dumb. I hope that he's not that dumb. He went down that road before. It didn't work. I hope he's learned from all this bullshit that he's got wrong. That's all I got to say about that. And who's next? Because they got a lot to say about this shit.
F, man. Go ahead. Sound
no, Spiro kind of just covered everything, so I'm going to head out. First of all, sorry about that intro. I blame our streaming platform because I clicked it.
Yeah,
it didn't go. But, Eli, it's show business. And Eli's light on his feet, as always, just rolls with it. He's like, and we're live.
Okay, we're live.
Don't worry.
The most troubling thing is like Mara's quote, I believe in the vision that, Joe Schoen has. And in my mind, all I could see is like Joe Schoen with a walking stick and blinders on, because there has been no vision. There has been no like clear path towards success. This guy's been winging it since he got here. And we've said it 100 times, but the success in 22 really fucked us more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything happened because of that. And like, that was our first year as Revival. Man, was that a fun year, seeing your team be relevant again.
Awesome.
But it was fool's gold. And I couldn't wait for this. So I had to put out that quick video this morning because just getting everything off your chest. But to Spiro's point, aside from cleaning house, this was the better option instead of firing Shane hiring a new head coach who, by the way, like there's no slam dunk head coach that would want to come here with a completely unproven GM. If anything, a GM that's not seen well across the league, has not had success, has not proven to give any advantage. So it's just a hot seat situation. And now you're going to add a rookie quarterback who a lot of people think they're not even slam dunks, that there may not even be that dude in this draft. So everything's not really lining up for the Giants to get out of this and look well doing it. So like I said, I'll eat my words and gladly admit that I'm wrong for giving Schoen more time. But I don't think he's the dude. I just don't have confidence in him. Eli, where are you at?
Listen, man, I echo to both of y'all. You know, like, and this is a terrible situation to be in, I think, because we proved here on this podcast, like I did the show where, I mean, it was hilarious the way I did it, but in all joking aside, we looked at what Joe Schoen was able to offer as far as drafting here. This is a terrible roster. Again, he hit on this year's draft class. When you look at the Tyrone Tracy, when you look at the Malik Neighbors, when you look at the other pieces, the Theo Johnsons of the world, then you can say, man, he really drafted well. That 2022 was Dave Gettleman's guys. Most of them were. You know what I mean? So to say, and we crowned Joe Schoen a little bit too early to say, man, he's that GM we always wanted. And Brian Daboll is that head coach. I still believe more in Brian Daboll than I did in Joe Schoen coming into this next year. I really do. I just don't think Joe Schoen has the intangibles to continue to build this roster. Now, I think the decision of why John Mara kept them both is because the fans said it. You can't fire one and not the other, especially imagine if they would have fired Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen stayed. It'd have been a bigger outcry to get rid of this guy, just like we did Joe Judge. When we was like, how the hell are you keeping Joe Judge? And Dave Gettleman just walked out of here scratchless at this point. You can't keep him either. Get everyone new. Get everybody in here new at this point. So just imagine if John Mara would have made that decision. He had no choice but to keep Brian Daboll. And on top of that, just like Speed said, and you said, Hef, what coach is going to come in here knowing that they got a lame duck GM at any given minute is going to freaking get dismissed of his duties, and then that head coach is sitting in limbo again, and it's the Joe Judge situation. It's insanity at this point. You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, in token, man, it's just sad day for this franchise.
Yeah,
that we have to retain people because there's no other candidate out there that's probably gonna be willing to come here to try to fix this mess. Because again, this is all Joe Schoen's roster. So you know what? If I'm John Mara too, I'm gonna be like, you know what? You made this mess. Now it's up to y'all to fix it. Go out there and fix it. And this is your last year and your last one. And I'm not doing this no more with you. Because I think they got a 5-year contract. He'll be glad to eat that 1 year. And this is going to be a new league thing. I think they're going to discuss this offseason, where their money isn't guaranteed no more. If they get fired, they're gone. I think they're going to discuss that. And I forget the terms that they were using for that. So imagine if that's approved, where the Giants are still paying Joe Judge. The Giants are still paying. I think they just finished Pat Shurmur at some point. You know what I mean? So just imagine you say, all right, cut ties. You don't got to pay these coaches. A lot of these coaches probably, listen, they're not staying anyway. But it just be like, man, I don't got to really have ties to these people anymore. Get them out of here. Give me somebody in here new. Let's figure this out quicker. But I think that was another thing of why John Mara kept them too. It's just like, yo, man, we got to pay them. You got one more year. Figure it out. You made the mess. Clean it up at this point. But that's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's interesting because the news came out again today that they also did some due diligence on some other coaches before making this final decision on Brian Daboll. And I mean, if you're Brian Daboll, that's got to be a little bit of a shock. But at this point, your seat is hot, man. Like he said himself, I won 3 games. It's not good enough. So of course they're looking for other candidates. But you know what? Gerard Mayo is now fired. He has to go to Vrabel's going to New England. Ben Johnson doesn't even want to go to the Jets. He's not coming to the Giants. We have a shit show right there. So at this point, what else can you do? Like, they got the other candidates are Liam Cohen, who was essentially Daboll when Daboll came in. He's the hot new offensive coordinator, but not that hot. And then Aaron Glenn, which again, good candidate. But do you feel great about Aaron Glenn coming around here to turn this around? Like, so they're going down. They're gonna go into next year with what Jeff showed us yesterday. A brutal schedule. And you know what? You're either going to have to move heaven and earth and prove everybody wrong with this new QB room that you're going to have, or you start clean after that, and it's going to be a bad year no matter what. Why not start clean with another top 3 pick potentially? I know it's a loser's mentality, but yeah.
And that's what scares me, Speed, is that there is no quarterback in sight. Yes, we just played ourselves out of the number 1 overall pick, and we don't have a quarterback in sight. And then when you start to peel, listen, I'm sticking to Shedeur. Let me make this clear before I say this. But then you're looking at it, everyone's saying, like, man, this is a weak quarterback class. Like, they wouldn't even be after Bo. They'll be after Bo Nix. And Bo Nix was number 12. I think he was like maybe the 6th quarterback off the board. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not even sure. But they're like, man, he's after. Right, like they're after Bo Nix. It's like, man, are they going to reach for a quarterback at this point? Are they sure they want a quarterback at this point? Is Shedeur going to be there? Because I think Shedeur is the best plug-in-and-play quarterback coming out right now. Not saying he's like the creme of la creme, a generational talent. No, he's none of that. But I think he's the most plug-in-and-play quarterback right now, which is something the Giants need. So just imagine they reach for a guy like Cam Ward, and Cam Ward's going to need some more grooming. It's just like, man, what are we doing here, Giants? Like, I just don't see the vision of what Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll had. Let me not say Brian Daboll, because I really still believe in Brian Daboll. I really do. I do. On the contrary of what people may say. What is the vision, Joe Schoen? You don't have a quarterback room. The wide receiver room is going to look a little different with Darius Slayton out of here, your most consistent wide receiver that you had for years. Everything's going to look different.
He might be back.
Where's the plan here going in? I don't get it. What's going on here? How do you retain these guys? Anyway. No. I'm sorry.
You just got to look at his drafts. Like, what has he done in the drafts? And if you look at Neighbors, it's like, hey, he got Neighbors. I'm sorry, a top 5 or 6 pick where you get to pick like a bona fide. That doesn't mean you're smart for taking him. It means you were bad the year before and you got to take him. Like, I give much less credit for nailing high-end first-round picks. I think the true genius of GMs is who do you get in the later rounds. And I would give credit for Tracy. I would give credit for McFadden, and McFadden's not a Pro Bowler, but that is an everyday contributor who is a solid tackling linebacker. Like, he is a good player. He doesn't hurt you. He's always around the ball. So, like, I would consider that a good value pick. Otherwise, you're looking at Evan Neal and Thibodeau as Neal was obviously a complete whiff, but Thibodeau is not a top 5 dude that is a difference maker, a game wrecker. He is not in the conversation of the best pass rushers in the league, and that's what you picked him to be. And
but doesn't that go against what you were saying though, Jeff? Because like he missed on those top picks. You can't, if you're up that high, you can't afford to miss.
That's what I mean.
The crux of the situation.
That's what I mean. I don't give a ton of credit when you hit on those. I give you blame when you miss on those. Like, those should be slam dunks, and like, they're not. You look at first rounds. Last year's first round was like one of the best ever. There was hits all over the place. But like, we trade up for Deontay Banks. We gave up assets to move up one pick to get him when Porter was just sitting there. If you needed a corner, like, was your grade that much better on him? Like, has he been a difference maker? He's still not you're locked in, CB1 that you wanted him to be. I just don't have faith that he is truly giving us an advantage in any way. And the way he evaluated the roster, the quarterback position, and his work in general over 3 years of drafts, because I think we're entering a very dangerous situation right now, and Spiro kind of alluded to it. You have guys who know that they're on a scorching hot seat. Garfolo came out, who's always been close to the Giants, saying there's going to be a playoff mandate, which just reeks of disaster. If this is a rookie quarterback, it's almost like that's why it was the better move to start clean now. Get a quarterback with a new regime where they have years together to work on this thing. And to continue to, you have a GM who's going to go spend in free agency because he needs to win now to save his ass. It's not his money. He doesn't give a shit. They're going to force a QB pick because they have to. They're going to go nuts, and it doesn't work. We saw it in 2016. You might have a flash in the pan success, but you have to build through the draft, supplement with free agents. And they're going to try and build their roster through free agency because they don't draft well. That's where we're at.
So let me give you a pie in the sky situation here, right? Like, because we just need to get good players in this building. If you're at 3, you take a defensive guy and you just start getting that defense better. Graham, Abdul Carter, or Travis Hunter. You just got to get special talent in the building, right? And you can't miss on that pick, whoever it is. You can't miss. Then you go get your, you sign a big offensive lineman. You sign probably 2. You need 2 offensive linemen, and you get your developmental quarterback. And you also sign a free agent quarterback. So that the QB room is technically, it can't be worse than it was this year, right? Like, there's nowhere to go but up. Like we were had.
I don't know about that.
You think it could get worse?
Listen, we thought this year will be it's a little better. It's gonna be better. We got
the QB room.
The entire room. I guess it could get better.
You can't get worse. I mean, if they get worse, that's I don't know. But anyways, I'm trying to see a way out. Right? I think we are the worst QB room in the league. I don't think it's even debatable at this point. So, in my opinion, there's nowhere to go but up. You draft a developmental guy. You sign a vet. You fix the line, and you keep just getting good players in this building. And again, I said it this last on Friday. If Joe Schoen doesn't shop hungry, you can create a better situation in this team to where you can win. Listen, if you jump from 4 to 8 wins, I think that's what they want to see. I don't think it's you have to make the playoffs or you're out kind of deal. I think that's like the mandate is like you got to be in contention.
You got to be 500. You got to be relevant.
500. Yeah.
Right. You just got to be relevant. And I think there's a path to it, but there's so many freaking bombs everywhere. It's a minefield, and he's got to
the Giants
perfectly.
The Giants better go in there and win 10 games. It's 10 games or bust for the Giants.
So then why do you even bring him back?
I'm telling you right now.
Exactly. Why bring him back if that's how you
we just said it. We just said it. Who else is going to come in here? We just said it.
Yeah, but
who's going to come in here and then on top of that, you just got rid of these guys in year 3. There's a GM that's going to come in young, fresh, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed. You want to give him another 3 years if it doesn't work out? They're going to be like, no, I don't want to go there and get fired in 3 years. Let those guys figure it out. Who's going to come in here? No one. That's the thing. Figure it out. Y'all got one more year. Figure this out. We gave you 4. If you can't figure this out, then we'll go get the guy. Maybe it's a little bit of continuity where they said, hey, at least they kept him 4 years and they try to figure this thing out and it didn't work. Then another guy coming here like, at least I got 4. Let me see if I can figure this thing out for these guys. You know what I mean?
And that's
it. Because it's been 3 years turn. 3 years turn. 3 years turn.
Right. I know.
You can't do it.
You're right.
You just can't. You just
that's the part of it too. I think that the past firings have led to this. And what coach wants to go into a situation where you're never going to see out your full contract or even close to it? So there's a little bit of that like factoring into this, which again is not great because that's not a good way. That's not a good reason to bring these guys back. But if you give them the 4th year, and again, to me, and I'll die on this hill, to me, this still reeks of John Mara. I know you say he didn't force anything. I think he forced his hand on Daniel Jones, and he feels bad about it, and he's giving them one more year to do whatever they can without Daniel Jones. And every move after, and Jeff, you said it, every move they made after the Daniel Jones signing was because of the Daniel Jones signing. And it just ruined everything they did. And again, Joe Schoen is not blameless for this. He made the picks. He made all these bad decisions. But when you're trying to make a bad player good, and you're scrambling to do anything you can, you're not. The process is wrong. It was a bad process. I think truly, last year was the first year they had a decent process again. Can they expand on that, or are they going to revert back to we need to win? That's going to be the difference.
Hot. The seat is too. They got fans flying banners saying to fire everyone. Their seats could not be hotter. The fans are absolutely fed up with this. So how could they not act in desperation? Because when you look at the roster, like the Giants need a quarterback, obviously. But you're looking at it and it's like, do you really think it's going to end well if we bring in Sanders or Ward with a 10-win or playoff mandate in year 1? And who is the free agent quarterback that you're going to get at a reasonable price that's going to uplift the entire roster? Where is the light for these guys? You set them up to fail. And then it's just, you're going to do this staggered shit. You're going to have a quarterback and then a coach and GM that didn't pick him.
It's so tough.
It's crazy. Crazy.
I just want them just sit at 3. That's all I ask. Do not, like, if somebody falls to you at 3 and you get your quarterback. Listen, I still want a quarterback. I know what you're saying, Jeff, is true. I still want a guy to have just give us a spark. Give us some faith. See, I want a little light at the end of the tunnel at the most important position. And I think a Cam Ward, I think a Cam Ward, Shador, Dart, or Aller could do that. I think they all would give us a little light at the end of the tunnel. And I still believe that Brian Daboll can get the best out of a good quarterback. A guy with talent, that's the reason I wanted him here in the first place. And my opinion hasn't changed on him after 3 years. I still think if you give him a good quarterback, he could do well with it. And if he develops him for a year and he gets fired, so be it. But I think he has an eye for good talent, and he could develop a quarterback. And if he gets fired after that, so be it. But I still want a quarterback, man.
Let me ask you this, man. If that Shador's off the board, there's Cam and there's Travis Hunter left. Who are you picking at 3 speed? Are you reaching for the quarterback?
No, I'm not.
You might not get it. We might not get it.
Well, no, but then I'm entertaining a trade back. But I know Joe Schoen won't do it. He'll pick one of the 3 best defensive guys there.
Player available.
Most likely. Which, again, I'm okay. Listen, you guys, Travis Hunter, Graham, and Abdul Carter are stars. We need stars.
Yeah.
So, it's not the worst. I think, Jeff, you put out a tweet, not a bad consolation prize to get the Heisman Trophy winner, or, one of these other guys. But, listen, I hate that we're down this path again. We're going to talk more about it on Tuesday.
But before we get there, I know we have some stuff to get to, man. We got some stuff to get to here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn, rusty.
Oh, holy shit, a super chat.
I'm rusty, man.
It's a Monday, bro. It's Monday. We're not used to Mondays.
It's Monday. We're still going live tomorrow night. We're just digesting. Instant reaction. TK is concerned for us. He said he's never seen us 3 agree in misery before. And the news is fresh. And
we're about to go to Atlantic City.
We'll do that. Thank you, Troy. Just because.
Thank you, Troy.
Nothing wrong with it. Just because.
I like the JB. A JB every once in a while, just because a JB is pretty fucking awesome. Thank you, Troy.
All right, Spiro, take this one. Go ahead.
Hey, Primo. I pray Aller declares so that 3 QBs are on the board, and hopefully the one we want falls to us. That's honestly, you're right, Prime. Appreciate the super chat, my man. Listen,
that's supposed to be. I pray Allah. Salam alaikum, brother. Salam alaikum.
I pray Allah.
Pray Allah.
Please, Allah.
Listen, this is true, and everybody needs to tune in. That everybody that wants a quarterback has to tune in on Thursday night. Alar's going against Notre Dame. Notre Dame has a great defense. If Aller balls out against that defense, he's going to declare, and because his stock might not be higher, he has a chance to get into this top 10 conversation now. And he's got all the tools.
Is Alar's stock high, really? You said his stock is high?
It's going like this. After his last game, it's going like this. It's rising. And if he balls out against Notre Dame, that's an NFL defense right there. That's an NFL caliber defense. If he shows out in the prime time game, I think his high end might be it's right there with them. I'm telling you, he's got the tools. He's just super raw. He's young. He probably needs to go back to school. But listen, there's this debate: is he better off learning in the NFL or going back to school? And we'll see about that, because I don't know, man. He's got a chance. But the moral of the story is, the more top end top quarterbacks we can get into this conversation, the better. Because what if you can come back and get now Dart falls back, or Milroe falls back, and then you can get this guy with your second pick, one of these guys. That changes things. So that's
guys. I just want to say this, man. Shout out to Art Stapleton, friends of the show, man. But John Mara, of course, is speaking to the media right now, I believe, guys. John Mara said he met with Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll last Friday and heard their plans going forward and believes in their vision. And he talked to Steve Tisch and the ownership. And he says they both have to be patient in this process here. He says if he's standing here this time next year and giving the same quotes, he'll take the heat for all of that. John Mara, are you ready for that? Because I guarantee you. In fact, guys, I will bet my entire life savings on this. John Mara is going to sit there again, and there's going to be egg on his face. I'm telling you right now. This team, I don't see this team winning above 500 games. And we'll get to that tomorrow.
No way.
But that's what games, I wouldn't either.
We'll get to that tomorrow. He's gonna
dude, I'm sorry, Spiro, to depress you. Yesterday, as soon as the season ended, when I sent you the schedule for next year of home games, there's not a win on that. And if you're looking at San Fran, they had a down year, but Shanahan and Lynch, they're coming back. They're not going to suck. They're a well-coached team. They just had a down year. So if you're looking at that as your shoe-in win, it's going to be brutal next year again. especially if you're talking about a rookie quarterback. But I think Spiro is actually right that Mara had a lot of influence over bringing DJ in, and then the ripple effect is true. Everything came from that. But how do you not throw a dart in the mid to later rounds in any of these drafts? Like, because Spiro, you said you wanted Daboll because of his potential to develop a quarterback, right? Why not do that in the fucking background while you're still satisfying the owner?
Great question.
And Daniel Jones is still your starter. Why hasn't someone been working for us the whole time? Who knows the offense after 2 or 3 years at this point? Who could have shown a flash and give us a reason to believe for next year? Instead, we have fucking nothing.
Do you believe Tyrod Taylor would have improved this offense if they had signed him and paid him a little bit more? Maybe Tyrod could have made that argument. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the Jets
he would have made this room. Yeah. He would have made the QB room a lot. They would have went to him way earlier. There would have been no DeVito experiment. And, it probably there wouldn't have been a lock experiment. I think
Joe Schoen is trash. How do you let this guy walk right freaking across the locker to the next freaking team for I don't even know how much was it, $1 million more, $2 million more?
Well, it doubled. I think he went from 6 to 12 or something.
Yeah, he got paid. He got paid. Yeah. So 2 more things real quick before Jeff has to go. 2 more things Mara said is he told Brian Daboll that he shouldn't be calling plays anymore. So Kafka with that extra year, Kafka could be getting OC duties back. He also said that he hated watching offenses run up and down the field on us. Shane Bowen, you're probably out. And bring back Lou and Anamramo, whatever his name is, from the Bengals. He's a New York, New Jersey guy. Get him back here and fix that defense right away. That should be not priority number 1, but high priority fixing that defense. So those are 2 hot topics.
Listen, you guys rock on. Do your thing. I got to bounce. I love you, Giants fans. Thank you for checking in, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 8:30 as well. I'll talk to you boys soon.
Love you, Happy.
Love you,
brother. I mean, listen.
Dude, I was doing all that huffing and puffing for nothing. Yeah, shout out to Seal, man. I was doing
Hey, we got Troy. Hold on, we got Troy again. Hey, Troy. Eagles Vikes playoffs. Darnold's hurt. DJ wins. We might be if we see, oh my God, wouldn't that just be so fucking perfect?
I mean, in a storybook ending for DJ, sure. I just don't think he's seeing the field, man. I really don't. I don't. But we'll
if
see.
Darnold's hurt, who else are they gonna go with?
Is Darnold hurt, bro? I'm literally. Is Darnold hurt? Is something I'm missing?
Yeah, he was limping. He was limping apparently after the game. I think he's gonna gut it out. I think he's gonna play no matter what. But
on my timeline that said he was gonna be out. There's still nothing. I'm looking.
No, I don't think there's evidence that he's definitely gonna be out. But it just would be so like this season. if Daniel Jones goes in and balls out.
True, but I'll tell you this though, Speed. I think they have something in the tuck for Daniel Jones, like a quarterback duel. I'm telling you right now, you might see that in the playoffs. I'm telling you. That's
with how badly they looked in the red zone there. Why not throw a couple of red zone packages for DJ in a RPO or something easy, right? Like something like easy that he could run and use his legs. Why not?
I would. I'm not gonna lie, I would. Man, shout out to the 515 people in the building. I think we have one more super chat, Speed, because I know we don't want to go too long.
You want to get it? I got it.
Yeah.
Hey, Keith Wilson. Salute, fellas.
Oh,
Drew needs to go back. He stalls that offense out a lot. Fans want to convince themselves of Dart now, and I'm so miserable here. Listen, I get it, Keith. I get it. I do really think that this game on Thursday for Aller is going to be it's going to push him one way or the other. If he goes up and has a great game against a Notre Dame defense, he's going to thrust himself into the top 10 conversation. He could be the QB3 at that point. And if the top 2 guys go 1-2, how much better do you think can he work himself into a number 1 pick? Like, I don't know. Like especially if Arch comes out. I don't know.
It's funny you say that because again, I'm looking at film on Jackson Dart now, I believe, right? This is his name, Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
I'm looking at film at him right now, right? And Speed, I'm gonna be honest with you. If he does play well, and of course we still have to count the combine because yes, we judge people in underwear nowadays. You know what I mean? If everything goes well, I think he can be a third QB because I just don't believe Milroe. Am I saying Milroe? I don't think he's I don't think he's the QB3 because a lot of people are thrusting him up there to be. Definitely not. He's a runner more than a passer. While you look at Jackson Dart, he's willing to pass first, run second, and he gives you that little bit of Josh. And I told you, Speed, right in the chat, I was like, yo, man, he gives me a little bit of the Josh Allen vibe just looking at him at a glance. And that's something Daboll loves to see, where a guy can take over the game, read defense as well. Yes, he has a lot of flaws. And we'll discuss that later in the show down the line on the podcast of what his flaws are. But just doing film initially, I'm like, yo, he can work his way up. Now, again, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's call a spade here, Speed. This is a weak quarterback class. I get it. It really, really is. But if we're going with the people that we have now for this market, this year, this class, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, and I'm not going to lie, I really will put Jackson Dart up there at 3. And we do understand it's a weak
right
class.
now, yeah.
Chill. We do understand that. You get what I'm saying? But, guys, of course, man. Yeah, you got one more speak? Go ahead.
Well, no, I just want to a little bit, come back a little bit what you're saying. It's weaker than last year. But if you go across, and I have it in my notes over here, you go across all the drafts, you're typically not finding a draft that more than 3 good QBs in general. Most of the time, it's 2. Most of the time, it's even 1. Like you go through it. It's a normal class when it comes down to it. The problem is, again, none of these guys are elite, so that's why people think it's a weaker one, and that's where you get into the talk of this is a weaker draft than others. But I think at the end of the day, I like Shedeur, I like Cam, and it's not crazy to think that maybe Dart, Milroe, or if Alec comes out, that one of those guys could shine too. So if a 3 quarterback come out of this class, you're going to look back at it and be like, hey, this is just a normal class, not weak. It's just normal. It's not as good as
there's no generational talent, right? Yeah, there's no generational.
That's the biggest thing.
There. Yeah. Like when you looked at last year, you were like Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels was that like, okay, these guys could be that generational talent. I hate to use that word, maybe elite.
Well,
those guys were elite. These guys are good. Yes. These guys are good enough to play in the NFL and get you wins. They're
right in that second tier.
I agree.
The thing I want to last thing I'll say I want to combat is that people keep saying, hey, these guys aren't elite. We can't draft them with a high pick. Mm-hmm. We never had an elite quarterback as for the New York Giants. Eli Manning wasn't elite, and neither was Phil Simms. Neither was Jeff Hostetler. We won 4 Super Bowls with non-elite guys. You don't have to have an elite quarterback to be a good team. And if you keep waiting around until we could get this elite quarterback, we quite possibly will never get one, and everybody's going to get fired. And how many elite talents has a Tomlin had? He's still coaching. He's still getting 10 wins. You could still put yourself in a good position without an elite quarterback. So take a chance.
Let me say this: we're looking at a guy that is nowhere near elite on Detroit right now, named Jared Goff.
There you go.
Just saying, guys, there's light at the end of the tunnel because a lot of people are like, don't get Shedeur, don't get this one, don't get that. Listen, for the class that we have, if you want to go get your quarterback, go get him. If that's your guy, go get him.
Swing.
If Shedeur, and again, this is just for me. If Shedeur's off the board and is Travis Hunter there, I'm a Hunter guy. I'm gonna go get the best player available because I think Cam Ward needs some time. But if Shedeur and Cam Ward's there, I'm taking Shedeur. Or you know what I mean? Like it's just simple. It's just simple here. You know what I mean? Like you take the guy that's more plugged in, ready. But you don't got to worry too much. And I think Shedeur's the guy. Cam is the guy that needs some work, but he can be a good starting caliber NFL quarterback in this league. It is what it is, guys. And if not, you take Jackson Dart in the second round. Hopefully he's there. And then you go from there and try to build around him too. Again, you hit it right on the head. We've been saying this on this pod for a while. And just because we're a smaller pod, they give us no love here, okay? We've been saying this. Speed. Eli Manning wasn't elite. We call him elite because he won 2 Super Bowls, but he wasn't. Well, we love him to death, though. Yes, but we love him to death, but he wasn't. But he won us 2 Super Bowls. Go build the cast around some of these guys that are coming in, and I think you'll have a damn good freaking a damn good team going forward here at this point.
And one last thing, a little bit of bad news on the QB front of someone maybe slipping to us. Browns just came out today and said Deshaun Watson is behind schedule, had a setback on his Achilles. So you can pretty much say it's a slam dunk. They're going to draft a quarterback. And if you had any hope that they were going to pass, hey, there he is.
That was quick.
I canceled my meeting. It's too big of a day. I'm here.
Listen. And I just want to say this, man, because the chat is like, oh, Cam Ward is better. Guys, what the hell are y'all looking at? I'm looking at if stats is it. If stats is it, then cool. Y'all go with stats.
It's not. No, it's not that.
I'm looking at the body of work, the mechanics of a quarterback. Shador Sanders has way better mechanics than a Cam Ward. I'm sorry. What am I missing?
We're gonna go back and forth.
We'll go back to that.
Listen,
we'll figure it out.
There's some that say, and I'm one of these people that.
No, you don't know what you're talking about, Optimus. You don't know what you're talking about. What the fuck is you talking about, bro?
Cam Ward's ceiling is higher than Shador's, in my opinion. Cam Ward's ceiling is higher than Shador's. Shador's floor is higher than Cam's. So I think you're going to get a good, consistent quarterback out of Shador. I think Cam, if things go wrong, you could see ugliness. Like it could, but like if Cam hits his peak, I think he's got talent to be elite. Not elite, sorry, but better than. I think he's got a very high ceiling if he puts it all together. That's all I'm going to say about that. We are going to discuss it to no end over the next 3-4 months. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We're definitely going to go. Definitely going to.
Jeff,
But Speed, you hit the nail on the head, brother. You're absolutely right.
We were saying, hey, listen, Jeff, if everybody keeps waiting around for an elite talent because everybody keeps saying, hey, you don't take one of these guys. They got red flags here, red flags there. We need to just get our hands on a good young quarterback and see where we're at. We never had an elite quarterback as a New York Giant franchise, but we won 4 Super Bowls. Go take your chances on somebody and then see where you're at.
Yeah, you got to reserve that word elite for the guys who truly are that. And I think in the past, you could win Super Bowls with a defense and all that. Like you obviously need, lately, it seems like you do need that quarterback. There's not many. Like Mahomes has just been so dominant, but he's not really even in the MVP conversation right now. He's not. The Chiefs' defense getting so much better in the last 2 years has helped elevate them. And then when it's on and he needs to make a big play, that's when you see it. That's when you see him rise above and just make things happen out of nowhere. And that's what makes him so special. But you had a great point with the Lions. Would they finish 15-2?
15-2.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And like that's the difference of having 2 good coordinators and then a leader of men.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's different ways to do it. The good teams have kind of different formulas, but like that's what the Lions have going on. They have a leader of men, then they have really smart coordinators. That's what they have going on. And I don't believe, like I don't know if Daboll is that dude. Do you see him as a leader of men in that way?
I think you're getting the general consensus from what I hear in the locker room. His players like playing for him. Whether you want to call that a leader of men or not, I think they like their coach and they believe in their coach. And I think the hatred, if there's going to be, or dislike, it's for Joe Schoen right now. I think that the consensus in the locker room is Joe Schoen fucked the McLeod over. Joe Schoen let Saquon Barkley go. Joe Schoen let McKinney go. The hate is for him. Not for
they do not like Joe Schoen. I'm putting it right out.
Yeah.
Putting it right out. They don't like Joe Schoen. But they love Brian Daboll. Yeah. They really, really do. And Speed, you hit the nail on the head, brother. You don't got to guess. It's out there. Damn. If it's not, we'll take responsibility. We'll take that heat over here. But yes, obviously, guys, they don't like Joe. They like Brian Daboll more than Joe Schoen because you're absolutely right, Speed. He didn't pay anyone to stay here. He didn't take care of the players as he wanted to. You get what I'm saying? So they are going to war for Brian Daboll. Like you've seen the past few games, guys. These guys were fighting hard. They didn't give up. Yeah, we look at Deontay Banks like, man, you gave up. But these past couple games, these guys were fighting. Because maybe it was rumored that Brian Daboll was about to be fired. And they were like, no, not today. We'll fuck up a draft pick before we let Joe Schoen get the number 1 overall pick. Let's go win this game. Then when they stay, they're like, all right, we'll lay down a little bit. You get what I'm saying? But Speed, you hit the nail on the head. They love Brian Daboll.
Yeah, you got to remember 2022 for a moment. And yes, that was a fool's gold season. But the way he carried himself during that season, man, like there wasn't a doubt in any of our minds that we had our coach. And I know recency bias, you want to throw everyone under the bus, and I completely get that. But Daboll was fucking awesome in that season. From getting tears in his eyes when they beat Tennessee in week 1, looking up at his grandparents and having all of that stuff, like how pumped up he was, like screaming at the fans, like, holy shit, did that light the entire fan base on fire? That's still our coach at the moment. It
is, man.
He's still in there too. I don't believe in this GM. I truly don't.
That's fair.
I will eat my words. if I'm wrong about that in the future. But I would like to see that version of Daboll return since they are coming back. Give me that coach again.
And let me tell you one more thing at you guys. If it goes south quickly, right, and everybody's coming back, we get if Kafka comes back, we get a chance to see what Kafka could do as a head coach. And he was rumored to have a lot of interviews around the league, right? So we get to see what Kafka could do maybe as a head coach. And if Schoen gets fired mid-season, you get to see what Brendan Brown could do or Ryan Cowden could do halfway through next year. And you see what you have in the building, because we didn't have that chance to do it this year. Well, you say no, but they're not
because it's not enough. No, it's just not enough to actually get a good idea what Brendan Brown can do. But season's over already. You
get a sense of Kafka, how he is in the locker room, press, stuff like that. You get a better sense of him. But like Brandon Brown, if he takes over right before the trade deadline and no draft, like there's not a whole lot you can get from that.
No. I disagree. I think you could see how he handles being the number one guy and how he goes about his business and how the players react to him and how the coaches react to him and how he converses with. Like, I think there's something to be gained about. It's either not having any experience, or having like 6 or 8 games. So I think there's a little bit of bright side in that. If you keep everybody, you get to see what some guys behind the scenes, and then you can get a head start on the coaching carousel for 2026. You know what I'm saying? Right now we are behind the ball. We're lost out on Vrabel. It seems like we have not interviewed anybody. Ben Johnson ain't coming here. Maybe the carousel is better next year. Maybe Kyle Shanahan becomes available if the 49ers, mess up. Maybe Mike Tomlin, and I hate to say this, but there's a lot of Steelers fans calling for Mike Tomlin now with the way their season ended.
That's how high their bar. That's how high their bar is.
But listen, wouldn't you love to see Mike Tomlin on the coaching carousel next year? Long story short, I don't think this was a year to go to clearing the house, because the options to replace him weren't great. Could be a lot better next year. Could be a lot better. I don't know. I'm trying to look for the fucking bright side.
I know, man. It feels that way a little bit with the quarterback situation too. Like, of all years to bottom out, had we had a top 3 pick last year, God, are we in a different spot right now?
Agreed, man. But guys, shout out to the 570 people in the building, especially in the morning, man. Wow, we started at 10:30, and you guys are still rocking with us. Don't forget, we have a show tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Live with us. We'll probably have a guest for you guys. We'll keep you posted. We're not really sure what we're going to do or what direction we're going in just yet, because it's the Giants, man. Everything's unpredictable here. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well, hit the like button. And if you're on X, please hit that follow button, hit the notification bell. Please like and retweet this post here that we are live. So we do appreciate you guys, man. Anything else before we get out of here, guys? Before we, for the day?
2025 World Junior Classic winners, USA. Let's fucking go!
I saw a highlight. It was a golden goal, right?
Golden goal.
Let's go. Listen, and I gotta get a sound bite for you. I swear, I gotta get the sound bite. As soon as we hang up, I'll get that sound bite for Speed. For real. But guys, on behalf of my brothers, man, you guys know who they are. And that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Speed. If you nasty now. And my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka get rid of Joe Schoen now.
Oh, we need a skit. We need a sketch this week.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Come on. You know when I got to start like flying off the head. You didn't put enough sketches out. You got to get at least 3 times a week. You got to at least do it, man.
This is the first day my kids were at the house. Sorry.
We miss you out in these streets, brother.
And now he's got snow to deal with. So how are you gonna do it outside? I don't know.
Listen, that'll be fire if El Chefe's out there.
Chefe in the snow, sleeveless. Does he have the balls to do it?
Does he have the balls?
Yeah. Chefe's crazy. He'll do anything.
Yeah, cool. And it's your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace and blessings.
New York Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Woodlard Roll!
Let's go!